If there's one thing you should know about me, it's that my favorite video game series is Yakuza, and I've been playing them ever since the first one was released back on the PS2. Being a Yakuza fan has been a wild ride through the years, and it hasn't always been pretty. One could almost label the PS3 era as the dark ages for the Yakuza series, as the series ran into trouble, which I guess would probably make the PS4 era the era of enlightenment. With Yakuza 0 on the PS4, Sega had a hit on their hands, one that fully deserved, as Yakuza 0 is a brilliant game and one of my favorite games of all time. Fans were clamoring for more Yakuza, which brings us to the Kiwami games, the Yakuza PS2 games remade in HD for the PS4. Yakuza Kiwami and Yakuza Kiwami 2 are much more than remasters. They contain a complete graphical overhaul of the city, characters, and art assets, more content, new minigames, and side stories. Most new players getting into the series should start with the newer PS4 games and not the PS2 ones. Graphics. Let's start with the graphics. Yakuza Kiwami 2 follows on from Yakuza 6 on PS4 and is the second game to be built with the Dragon engine. While the older PS3 engine used for Yakuza 0 and Yakuza Kiwami looks just fine, if you put them side by side, it's very noticeable just how much better Yakuza Kiwami 2 on the Dragon engine is. The city is far more alive, especially at nighttime. The lighting effects get a total workout with neon signs all over town, reflections appear in puddles, there's smoke and volumetric fog, and much more. There are now many objects on the street waiting to be used during fights, including bikes, signs, signposts, traffic cones, which all turn into makeshift weapons. The PC version of Kiwami 2 is simply no match for the PS4 version due to unlocked resolution and unlocked frame rate and other graphical options available, and with the stronger PC hardware, it made a huge improvement to the visual quality of the game. I can only really compare it to my time with Yakuza 6 and not Yakuza Kiwami 2 on the PS4 since I didn't play that version, but the much higher 1440p resolution on PC made the game look amazing. Overall, Yakuza Kiwami 2 is a graphical showcase for Sega. Gameplay. Yakuza's gameplay loop is a tried and true formula and is no different in Yakuza Kiwami 2. Kazuma Kiryu is a one-man demolition machine, the dragon of Kamurocho. You don't pick a fight with Kiryu not unless you want your night ruined. Yakuza is a street brawler, and Kiryu has an assortment of moves at his disposal, including light and strong attacks, and also heat moves, which are context-sensitive finishing moves, which can be used when your heat gauge is filled up. At first, Kiryu is a bit clunky and slow, but he can level up, and by using experience points, can buy upgrades for better moves and also to increase his stats in health, strength, attack, and defense. The game has Kiryu uncovering the main story and has him investigating different areas around Kamurocho, which is an area based in Tokyo. As he makes his way around, he'll have to fight off thugs in random battles. While that is the main gameplay loop, there's so much more to Yakuza than simply playing the main story. He can also stop by and regain his health and increase experience points by eating at one of the many restaurants around town. Eating in a restaurant isn't much more than selecting a dish from a menu though. Kiryu can also go to one of the many different locations on the map to play a minigame. This may be anything from practicing batting at a batting cage, to playing darts in a pub, or to playing mini-golf at an indoor range. There's around 10 to 15 mini-games here. Most of the mini-games have some kind of progression, so there are goals to aim for. In Sotenbori, the game's recreation of Osaka, Kiryu can manage a hostess club, directing guests to their seats and picking the right girl to entertain the guests. It's a sort of Diner Dash clone. Back in Kamurocho, Kiryu can also manage the clan battle minigame, directing clan members to ward off attackers in a tower defense-like minigame. Many Yakuza fans love to complete the side stories, which is Kiryu meeting strangers around town and helping them as needed. These could range from helping a grandma from thugs or learning new moves from an old martial arts master. Most of the time though, is usually listening to some dialogue and it ends up being resolved in some sort of battle. It's mostly there to flesh out the story of the town, rather than any actual amazing gameplay. Finally, if that's not all, Yakuza completion lists are always fun to complete. Story.
龍二。おう、つらい。それでないとやりがいがないっちゅうもんや。 よっしゃ思う存分暴れたれ
In Yakuza Kiwami 2, Kiryu has far deadlier threats than he ever faced in the first game. The Omi alliance from the Kanzai area is threatening to overtake the Tojo clan. Ryuji Goda, the son of Chairman Jin Goda, will stop at nothing to get his war against the Tojo clan and become the undisputed dragon of Japan. Meanwhile, the Korean Jinwan Mafia has been secretly plotting in the shadows to exact revenge on the Tojo clan ever since the Tojo clan tried to wipe them out 26 years ago. It's up to Kiryu once again to let his fists do the talking and broker peace in these troubled lands. Overall, Yakuza Kiwami 2 is a fine but unspectacular game. For those new to the series and wish to play through the Yakuza saga, the game is solid and there aren't really any glaring issues. There's a lot to enjoy in general. The graphics are simply superb on the PC, and as Kiryu levels up and builds up an arsenal of moves, Kiryu is pretty fun to play. As a returning fan to the game after all these years, I haven't changed my mind on the story, and it still seems to drag on for longer than necessary. It's part of the series' DNA, I suppose, but when it's uninteresting, it seems to take twice as long to get to the point. The other main issue I have is that Kiwami 2 still features a lot less content than Yakuza 0. Some minigames like the dancing minigame or the RC cars have been taken out without any replacement, while Yakuza Kiwami 1 was pretty threadbare but discounted to $30. Yakuza Kiwami 2 was full price at release and still feels a little bit tight when it comes to new content. Both the cabaret management and clan battle has been taken from Yakuza 0 and Yakuza 6 respectively, and there's only one new minigame, the gravure photo shoot minigame, that honestly sticks out like a sore thumb, as I mentioned in my previous video. The story is a little overcomplicated for what it really needs to be. Yakuza 0 shows that a simple narrative goes a long way to being engaging as long as players can relate. At times, Yakuza Kiwami 2 feels like the cutscenes would be better read in a novel than in a video game that takes too long to get to the point. In the end, Yakuza Kiwami 2 showcases the potential of the Dragon Engine Yakuza games on the PC with good hardware. It's a solid and fun game, but it lacks some much needed new content. And I'd give it 7.5 out of 10. If you liked this video, be sure to click on the like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.